understand how they feel, understand that they feel really bad about themselves, and don't rip them because you're not helping the thing. Hey there, Devin here. I have COVID. Might as well just rip that Band-Aid off right away, right? I took a test this morning, came back positive. You want to wait a little bit. I'm going to explain how I took that test. There's something to remember taking rapid tests, okay? Because mine first came back negative, and I thought, well, yes, I'm good, and then turned out it was positive. So hang around for that. I figured I would just come on here and say it like it is because I like to do that, and, rather than having anybody out there with differing thought processes or anything else, this is the truth of what happened. I know a lot of people are getting a little crazy with COVID, and I think that's a shame. So I just want to come on here and clear the air of anything that possibly could be rumors or whatever else, just so people knew what's going on and what happened with me. So obviously, Christmas holidays come along. I got a PCR test right before Christmas. I'd had a cold for like a week, and I'd taken like 5 rapid tests, I think, in like 7 days. All negative. I thought, you know what, before Christmas, I'm going to get a PCR test just in case. Back then, you could do that. So I took a PCR test. I got a PCR test on the 23rd. Came back negative. So I was good for Christmas. Went back to work on Tuesday. And I had a client reach out to me last night and said that they were positive. I'd seen that person on Tuesday. So I thought, shoot, okay, I have to test. But I didn't want to test last night because I was concerned, obviously, we want that 72-hour window. So I wanted to wait until Friday morning to do the test. So I got up in the morning, usual time, got up at 6. And I went out, I did the test, waited like 15 minutes, brushed my teeth, stuff like that. And because I figured, you know what, if I feel fine, I'm going to go to do some cardio. And if the test's negative, obviously, I'm going to go do some cardio. So I did the test. Waited 15 minutes, 1 bar, and I'm like, yes, sweet. Went out, did my cardio, feel great, come back, and for whatever reason, I didn't throw that test away. Normally, I actually even picked it up. I picked the thing up, went to throw it in the garbage, and I thought, I'll take a picture of that later, so I have it, right, in case anybody asks. So for whatever reason, I didn't throw it in the garbage. I didn't even take a picture of it. I just put it on the counter, on the island, and I went and did cardio. Did my workout, came back in, I was getting a drink of water, and for whatever reason, I picked the test up again and looked at it. I really don't know why. It's just sort of interesting that I would do it at all, but I picked the test up, I look at it, and now it has 2 lines on it. And I was like, shit. Yeah. So, an important point to remember. You can do your rapid test and wait your 15 minutes, and you can have 1 line. And if you give it some more time, well, I gave it probably another 30 minutes, right? After 45 minutes, it had 2 lines. So it was a negative at first. It turned into a positive. Obviously, I'm going to take the positive is likely. What I've looked up online, the positives are, the likelihood of a false positive is very low. So don't do what I did and think that you're good after 15 minutes of taking a rapid test, because it doesn't necessarily mean you're negative. That rapid test, once it percolates a little bit more, might come back positive. So that is an important thing to remember. Keep that in mind. And don't throw it out. Like, I am very, very fortunate that I didn't throw that thing in the garbage, because honestly, it's something I would have normally done. I take it, wait my 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, good, it's negative. Garbage, and I'll see you later, right? Unfortunately, I didn't do that. Found out I was positive. So my next step, obviously, was to reach out to my staff and to all the clients and members, everybody I've been in contact with. Since Tuesday forward, reached out to everybody, let them know what was going on. It's interesting what you get back. Some people are very concerned. They're like, how do you feel? That was the first question a lot of people asked. How do I feel? I feel fine. I actually feel great. I don't feel any different than I feel normal. Last week when I had the cold and I get all those tests and I was negative every time, I actually felt kind of crappy. I felt like I had a bad cold. Now I feel like pretty much completely normal. So I'm hopeful that is going to continue and I'm not going to get sicker. But that's what I feel like right now. I don't have any headache. I don't have a sore throat. I'm not really stuffed up. In fact, I'm less stuffed up than I was like 2 days ago, or 3 days ago rather, when the cold was going away. So I I feel pretty much fine. I feel like myself. So that's the first thing to remember. You can feel fine apparently and have COVID, because I have COVID and I feel, I felt like I do most days. Like I felt great. The second thing to remember is, and I have noticed this, a couple people were pissed off at me. A couple people said, well, why were you at work? And I'm like, because we all go to work. And they're like, well, you should have been isolating since Tuesday. And I'm like, but the person didn't know they were positive until Thursday. I can't, this is the issue. And you know what, for me, this is something I think we all should really think about here. The likelihood is we're all going to get COVID at this point, because Omicron is pretty transmittable, obviously. And since we're probably all going to get it, we got to stop going, where'd you get it? Because that's what people ask me. Well, who'd you catch it from? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea who I caught it from. And frankly, I don't care. It doesn't matter. As long as the people who were in contact with me know that I'm positive, that's the only thing that really matters. Like going in and saying, oh, but did you talk to this person? Maybe this person gave it to you. And then that's silly. All we have to do here is let everybody know who you've been in contact with that you're positive. That's the job. It's not to be a sleuth. And a lot of people, several people said to me, they really wanted to get into sleuthing it all out and figuring it out. Stop trying to sleuth it. Stop trying to figure it out. You don't know. I don't know. I could have caught it at Sobeys. I could have caught it from the client at work. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, it could have come from anything. Or I could have given it to somebody and I have no idea. Like, this is the thing, right? None of us are sitting around going, boy, I'd like to give COVID to somebody. I mean, I know I'm not doing that, and I seriously doubt anybody else is. So that's my number one thing to keep in mind when a family member or somebody comes back with COVID. Most people, like I said, were very positive about it, but man, don't rip the ones, because a couple people got mad at me and questioned why I was at work and, said, yeah, this is really great. Thanks a lot, Devin. I didn't mean to do it. I don't have any control over COVID. I took as many measures as I could. You know what I mean? Like we take a lot of measures at work. I don't even know if I got it at work. I don't know if I gave it to anybody at work. I certainly hope not. But getting mad at someone who is positive is a complete waste of time and energy. And saying, who the heck did they catch it from? Again, kind of a waste of time and energy. Let's just be honest. Say we don't know where we got it. Let's take all appropriate measures, do all the stuff that health is saying we should do, and go from there. I will say this. It's a weird feeling to get COVID because you feel like you're dirty. Like, honest to God, as soon as I picked up that positive test and saw those 2 lines, I suddenly felt dirty. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And when I look at that logically, it makes no sense, right? I mean, it's not like I tried to do it. It's not like I've been rocking it out going, I don't believe in vaccinations, or saying, I don't believe in masks, or, I've been licking my hands, walking around all over the place, or breathing and kissing everybody. None of those things are true. But it is interesting how you immediately feel dirty. You feel really bad. You feel guilty. It's a whole plethora of stuff. Like, suddenly you feel awful about everything that you've done in the last 3 days. Which is interesting, and that's why we all have to try to practice being kind to people. I think it's super important that we all are just trying to be kind to people and understand, especially from my point of view, I have COVID, especially from that point of view, I didn't try to do it. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to pass COVID to anybody. You have to think about how badly the person feels who has COVID, because, we've been told, if you have COVID, it's bad. Right? And you feel bad about yourself. You feel bad that you did it. You just feel bad in general. I felt guilty immediately for my family. I'm like, oh God, what have I done to them? That was my first thought. And then I was like, I'm dirty. How dare, what was wrong with me? Where did I get? I went through all those things, and it's a lot of weird emotions all at once. And that's the thing we have to remember for everybody else, is that we just try to respect the fact that other people, the person who has COVID is going through a really stressful time. It sucks. Being off work for that amount of time is going to be very stressful. I've never done that before. This is going to be a new thing for me. I'm a guy that, I go to work no matter what. Not now, obviously, and not during COVID, but before that, I get a cold, I just go to work. It was who I was. I was raised to, you don't skip work. don't be a punk. So that's my words, not my parents' words. But they said don't skip work for a cold, so you don't skip work for a cold. So that is so far my feelings on COVID. It's obviously a frustrating time, and but like I said, I feel fine. I feel normal. I don't feel any different than I have at all. So hopefully that continues. My only hopes for other people is out there that if somebody has COVID, be kind to them, understand how they feel, understand that they feel really bad about themselves, and don't rip them because you're not helping the thing. Getting angry at somebody does no good. It does absolutely no good, and it doesn't stop COVID anyway. So, just try to be kind out there. Until next time, Devin out. I'll let you know how I do on the COVID.